Hello and welcome back to Best Self Yoga, a practice created for K-12 educators. My name is Lindsay and I'm a teacher here in Southern Oregon. Best Self Yoga is inspired by the book Teach from Your Best Self, A Teacher's Guide to Thriving in the Classroom, written by my good friend Jay Schroeder. I'm excited to announce that Teach from Your Best Self is now available on audiobook, and I've left the link in the channel description. We're now diving into part two of the book, which focuses on the skills and principles that foster lower effort, higher impact teaching. I'm keeping it. Together, we will embody these approaches and we will reflect on how they resonate both on and off the mat. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, for choosing to take the time to invest in your best self, and for bringing that energy into your classroom, even if just for today. I'll meet you on the mat. Welcome to our Chapter 7 practice titled Return on Investment. Today we're going to start lying on our backs, so go ahead and make your way there nice and slow. And when you get there, go ahead and send those legs out long, taking your left leg to the left corner of your mat and your right leg to the right corner of your mat. Doing the same thing with your arms, coming into this X-like shape. When we inhale, we're going to think of stretching our fingers as high above our heads as we can, while at the same time our feet are being pulled in the opposite direction. So inhale, nice big X stretch. And exhale, letting your body melt into your mat. Taking a moment here to check in. Taking stock of all the places where your body is coming into contact with the surface beneath it. Thanking your mat for holding you during your practice. Thanking yourself for showing up. We're going to slowly inhale as we bring our knees in towards our chest. Scooping that tailbone under just slightly as we start rocking a little side to side. Landing in our body here and now. And when you feel ready, we're just going to come into stillness. In financial terms, return on investment, or in other words, ROI, refers to investing the least amount of money for the maximum gain in return. Inhaling a big expansive breath here. Exhaling, letting it go. We're going to take our hands on top of our knees and start making some circles, maybe massaging our sacrum, hanging out where it feels good. In education, the most valuable resources a teacher can invest
or their time, energy, and attention. Go ahead and switch directions. And we want to invest those resources so that they return a maximum benefit to student growth. Coming back to stillness here, we're going to take our hands and we're going to place them underneath our sacrum, creating this lift in our hips, this internal rotation towards ourselves. Maybe like a reclined child's pose, thinking. If you like to lift your hips even higher, you can turn that into a couple fists and maybe using those forearms as well. You choose. Noticing how the space between your legs and your diaphragm has become smaller, maybe even touching. This time, as we inhale, a big expansive breath. Exhale, letting it go. One more time, inhaling. And exhaling, this time bringing your knees to your nose, nose to your knee. Attention and awareness going inward. Inhale here. And exhale, unfolding, bringing our head back down to the mat, bringing our hands out. Coming into that X stretch again. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to slide our feet in just behind our sits bones, getting ready for our bridge pose. Pushing into all four corners of your feet. Walking those shoulder blades in towards your spine. Engaging your glutes as we inhale, rising up. Lifting those hips towards the sky. And exhale, slowly rolling down your spine, enjoying a little massage. This time, pausing here to check in with your hips and your kneecaps. So if we were to draw a line from your two hip bones straight out, they should come to the center of your kneecaps. And we want to keep that distance through the entire movement. The things that help us keep that distance is really connecting and engaging through the four corners of your feet, engaging those glutes to protect not only your legs but your back. And also pushing into your forearms might create some more stability. Okay, let's get ready. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. This time I'm going to hold at the top. Join me if you'd like. Or continue following your breath as you come in and out of bridge pose. We're going to take our hands and clasp them just underneath our tailbone, walking those shoulders even closer in towards our spine. Holding our bridge pose here. Because self care takes time, energy, and attention, it often falls to the bottom of the priority list for a teacher. We may think that investing in ourselves holds a low ROI for others and therefore is not worth our time, energy, and attention. Inhale here and exhale, slowly rolling down, letting it go. Nice big X stretch once again. And exhale, letting it go. We're going to keep our right foot where it is, and we're going to walk our left foot over to that right corner of our mat. At the same time, we're going to walk our shoulders to bring this left arm over to the right corner of our mat. Coming in to this reclined side bend. Option to cross that left leg over the right, and maybe taking your right hand and giving your left arm a gentle pull to extend that stretch. Just options. And even though we may hold these beliefs about self-care, in reality, caring for oneself holds a high ROI, not just for the person, but also for every interpersonal relationship we hold. Inhaling, coming back to center, coming into that X shape. This time, walking our right leg to the left side of our mat, walking our shoulders over to help that right arm get to the left as well. You choose your adventure if you want to cross that right leg over the left and or use that left arm to pull the right arm gently coming in to the side bend stretch on our right. The yoga practice holds a high ROI for myself because it brings me closer to my most authentic self and allows me to share my best with the world. Inhaling to come out of the stretch. Exhaling, we're going to roll onto our side. Maybe taking this left hand to rest our head in. Our knees are bent slightly. We're going to lift up this right leg and inhale, coming into a quad stretch. If you don't have access to this stretch with your hand on your head, also an option to come up onto your forearm, squaring those hips to the long side of your mat, reaching back. Also an option to extend that left arm out. Woo! Resting your left ear on your arm, shooting energy out the kneecap of that right leg. Inhale and exhale, enjoying that stretch. Some teachers may even hold the belief that self-care is a selfish act. And I think that comes from the selfless nature of the job. As you exhale, extending that right leg out, we're going to push up to a seat, coming through onto our other side. You choose how you would like to rest your head. Slight bend in those knees, lifting that left leg, coming into the quad stretch on the other side. So if you're a person that is grappling with those beliefs, it totally makes sense. I think it just really does come with the culture of what it means to be a teacher. But it doesn't have to be that way. We can change the way we think about ourselves, our value, and our roles in the educational system. Inhale. And exhale, extending that left leg. We're going to come up to our seats. Our first Sukhasana. Finding that sits bone connection. So today's theme is invest in self. Inhale, reaching for the sky. Exhale, bringing those palms together, maybe bringing them to your heart. By invest in self, I mean investing in your self-awareness. Inhaling here. Exhaling, maybe lowering your chin to your chest. We can invest in ourselves by connecting with our most authentic values and allowing them to guide us. We can invest in ourselves by shedding external narratives about who we should be. Inhaling to look forward. Dropping those hands just behind your sits bones, enjoying the stretch in your chest. Investing in self means regaining power over how you spend your time, energy, and attention. We're going to come to all fours now. Coming into that tabletop position. When you get there, shifting your hips a little left to right. Just settling in. And when you feel ready, planting your palms on your mat. Pushing into the tops of our feet. Our knees are under our hips. Our hands are underneath our shoulders. Slight tuck of the tailbone to flatten the spine. Tabletop position. As we get ready to move into cat-cow, think about investing, syncing your breath to the movement, sending loving, loving breath to your body as we come in and out. So as we inhale, we're lowering our belly towards the mat. Exhaling, rounding our spine through the other direction, pulling our navel in towards our spine. And continuing with your own breath. Nice work. On your next inhale, we're going to look forward, sending those hands out in front of us as we come into puppy posture. Option here to bring our heart even closer to the earth by inhaling to look forward. Exhaling, resting your chin and chest on the mat. Always an option to leave your chest hovering. We're going to inhale to look forward. Exhale, coming through to lie on our stomachs. Making a little pillow as you settle in, shaking your hips a little left to right. Bringing those big toes to touch, letting those heels fall out towards the sides of your mat. Nice big breath. And let it go. With your next inhale, we're going to slide this left leg up to a 90-degree angle, flexing that left foot, coming into this half frog, maybe squaring your hips to the short side of the mat, passively letting that left hip fall towards the earth. We can invest in ourselves by becoming present in our bodies. On your next inhale, looking up, sending your arms out long, resting that right ear on your mat. We're going to come into broken wing pose. So we're going to slowly slide this left hand in towards our chest to help us roll onto our right side. Option to keep that left leg out in front like a kickstand, or to join me in sending that left leg behind the right, stacking those hips. By becoming present in our body, we're able to recognize its needs. Then we learn how to nourish those needs. Nice big inhale. And exhale, slowly coming back to center, sending those legs out long, shifting those hips a little left to right. On your next inhale, sliding that right leg up, flexing the right foot, 90-degree angle, squaring those hips to the short side of your mat. Half frog on the right side. When we invest in our best selves, we bring our best self energy to our teaching. Inhaling to look forward, spreading those arms wide yet again. This time, left ear resting on the mat. As we inhale, slowly sliding that right hand in towards your chest to help you roll onto that left side. Stacking those hips, maybe keeping that right leg in front or bringing it back behind. When we bring our best self energy into the classroom, that encourages students to bring their best self energy to learning. Nice big inhale. And as we exhale, slowly rolling out of that pose, coming to rest one more time in the middle here. By investing in ourselves, we invest in others. Inhale to look forward, sliding those palms underneath your shoulders, curling your toes under. We're going to make our way to downward facing dog. When you get there, pedaling it out, enjoying that stretch. And when you feel ready, finding stillness here. Nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, think about sending your sits bones up towards the sky. And then slowly walking your way up to the top of the mat, taking your time to get there. Nice exhale as we forward fold. Today, an option to take your hands to clasp opposite elbows. Wrapping yourself up here. Turning into yourself. And when you feel ready, slowly rolling up, one vertebrae at a time. And when you get to standing, taking any natural movement, listening to your body's needs and nourishing them. All right, coming into mountain pose. So we want our feet to be hip width apart, so similar to the bridge pose. If you were to draw a line straight down from those hip bones, we want them to go down through the center of our ankles and out through our big toe there. I'm going to put my hands on my hips, bend my knees just slightly to push into all four corners of my feet. Engage my glutes, tuck my tailbone under as I rise up into a strong Tadasana. Maybe rolling those shoulders back, chin parallel to the mat. We're going to come into a standing back bend. So we're going to place our hands onto our sacrum. We're going to really root in through the earth, engaging those glutes. Inhale. And as you exhale, thinking about sending your hips forward, our gaze is still looking at the wall in front of us. And if you feel ready, Inhaling to send your gaze back behind your head. You can stay here, or another option is instead to have your hands be clasped right behind your tailbone, maybe pointing your index finger down towards the earth, sending those hips forward towards the wall, and then sending your gaze back. No pain. Nice big inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly straightening out your spine, clasping your hands the opposite direction, sending your forehead down towards the earth. As we inhale to rise up, exhale, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and fold. Planting those palms, stepping it back, coming to knees, chest, then our chin, coming into cobra. Exhaling, and then making your way to downward facing dog. Another chance here to pedal it out and enjoy that stretch. Enjoying a breath here as you send your tailbone up towards the sky. And then making your way back to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Rooting through all corners of your feet as you rise up. Mountain pose. Inhale, reaching for the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Planting your palms, stepping it back. Knees, chest, chin. Cobra. Downward facing dog. We're going to add on here. So inhale, lifting that right leg up, keeping those hips square to the short side of your mat. Exhale, bending that right knee, stepping your right foot just behind that right hand, lowering your left knee, sliding those toes straight back as we inhale, rise up. On your next exhale, thinking about sinking those hips even lower. Right knee is over our right ankle. Inhale to look up. Exhale to plant those palms. Curl your left toes under. Step it back. This time, option for chaturanga to up dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bending that left knee, stepping it through. Lowering the right leg, sliding those right toes straight back as we rise up. On your next exhale, thinking about letting those hips sink even lower. Left knee is over your left ankle. Inhale to look up. Exhale, planting those palms, uncurling your right toes. Chaturanga to up dog or knees, chest, chin, you choose. Downward facing dog. Make your way up to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Root to rise all the way up. Hands to heart. We're going to continue to add on to the sequence. You choose your flow. You choose if your knee is lowered or lifted. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Stepping it back. Find your flow. And we'll meet in down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, bending that right knee, stepping it up. We're going to lower this knee down, rising up. We're going to come into a warrior two. And so you can stay on your knee as we get into that warrior two. If you are staying on your knee, please make sure that you're using your hands and you're being mindful of coming into your warrior two nice and slow. Your other option is to join me in curling those back toes under, coming into a high lunge first, inhaling to look forward, exhaling, opening up into your warrior two. Our right knee is over our right ankle. Our left foot is parallel to the short side of our mat. We're going to act like we're taking our sweater off to plug those shoulders in, coming into warrior two. Inhaling to look back at that left hand. Exhaling to come all the way back to planting your palms, stepping your right foot back. Find your flow. When you get to your down dog, enjoy a little bit of that pedaling. When you're ready, inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bending that left knee, stepping it through. Lowering that knee down onto the mat as we inhale, rise up. You decide if you're going to come into warrior two on your knee or if you'd like to curl those toes under, coming up into a high lunge, inhaling, reaching for the sky. Inhale to look up. Exhaling, coming into that warrior two. Left knee is just over that left ankle. This time the right foot is parallel to the short side of our mat. Sending energy out our fingertips. Reminding yourself of your strength. Inhale to look back at that right arm. Exhale to come through, planting those palms, stepping it back. Choose your flow. Downward facing dog. When you're ready, slowly make your way to the top of your mat, coming into our forward fold. Halfway lift and fold. Rising up, hands to heart. Maybe taking your left hand and placing your palm on your chest, your right hand over your left. Checking in with your heartbeat and breath. We're going to come into our last flow and then we'll start cooling it down. Inhaling, reaching for the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift and fold. Stepping it back. Find your flow. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, bending that right knee. This time, option to keep that back knee lowered or lifted. Inhale, rising up. Inhale to look up. Exhale, coming into that warrior two. On your next inhale, we're going to straighten that front leg. We're going to shift our hips to the left. Engage this right glute to provide a slight bend in that right knee. Pushing into that right foot, pushing to the outer edge of the left. Arms out wide. Inhale, and as you exhale, just tilting over, coming in to triangle pose. Your gaze can be downward towards your mat, or maybe looking up at the sky, or coming forward. Nice work. Inhale, wherever you are. Exhale, bending that right knee, planting that left and right palm, stepping it back, finding your flow. And we'll meet in down dog. Last side. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bending that knee, stepping it through. Back knee can be lowered or lifted this time. Inhale, rising up. Inhale to look up towards the sky. Exhale, opening up to that warrior two. Balancing your energies to tap into that strength. On your next inhale, we're going to straighten that left leg. Shift those hips to the right. Engage this left glute to protect that left knee. Inhale and exhale. Coming into triangle pose on the other side. Nice big inhale here. And as you exhale, bending that left knee, planting the right palm and then the left. Last flow. Down dog. You made it. Good work. I'm going to slowly make our way to the top of the mat one last time. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Inhale as we rise up. Hands to heart. Very good. We're going to come just to the center of our mats. Well, you don't have to come to the center of your mat. You can stay facing whichever way you like. I'm going to face you though. And we're going to come into a squat. So we're going to start with our feet hip width apart. And we're going to take our heels and keep them where they are, but send our toes out to the corners of our mat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bend our knees, touch our mat with our fingertips, lift our heels, coming into a squat like this. You can bring those feet closer if that feels good, but our goal is to find stillness in some way, heels lifted. Our other option is to come into a squat with our heels lowered. So we'll get into it the same way. So your feet are hip width apart. You're going to send those toes out. What I like to do is just to shimmy my heels in just a tad bit more if I'm going to keep them flat. So we're going to bend the knees, bringing our hands to our mat, lowering our tailbone down towards our mat, using these opposing forces of our arms and our legs working together to provide a lift in our chest. Coming into a yogi squat here. Sending loving breath to any sensation that arises. If your heels are up, you can try to bring those palms together and use those opposition to find your balance. Or we can leave our hands on the mat. Wherever you are, we're going to slowly take our hands behind us, coming through to a seat. So we're going to come into square legs. So that means that we want our shins to be parallel to the long side of our mat while we stack one leg on top of the other. So I'm starting with my left leg on top. So option to stay here in square legs, or maybe joining me in stacking your knees, coming into a shoelace pose. I like to put my hands on the soles of my feet to inhale, to sit up nice and tall. Exhaling, letting those shoulders fall back into place. Enjoying that stretch in that outer thigh, regardless if you're in shoelace or square legs. We can inhale here. An option just to lean forward, no pain, maybe a little discomfort. Inhaling to sit all the way back up. Unraveling those legs, Bringing that right leg on top, coming into square legs, making our shins parallel to the long side of our mat. Getting a great stretch here on that outer right leg. Option to stack those knees, coming into shoelace pose. Placing the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. Nice deep breath in to create a lift in your chest. And as you exhale, rolling those shoulders back. Thank you for investing in your well-being, for joining me as I invest in my own. Inhale here. Exhaling, maybe leaning forward slightly. Inhaling to sit back up and unwind. I went to the Y for a class this weekend, or last week, and we did something called Around the World. So I thought I would do it because I thought it was fun. So you're just going to lift your feet and just rock from side to side, massaging those glute muscles around and around. Woo! When you feel ready, going the other direction. I don't know, it brings a smile on my face every time I do it. Very good. And when you're facing the long or the short side of your mat, sending those legs out long, coming to your back. Bringing those knees into your chest. Finding stillness here. On your next exhale, letting those feet come to your mat. Letting your feet come as wide as your mat. Knees falling into touch. Maybe placing your right hand just underneath your belly button and your left hand on your chest. Inhale to spread those legs wide. Exhale as you bring your feet together, falling into this reclined butterfly. Maybe using your hands like we did at the beginning of our practice, just to create a little bit more of a lift for those hips. Inhaling to close the legs up. Exhaling for one final big stretch. Reach, reach, reach. And then letting it go. Coming into our final resting pose. Shavasana. When we invest in ourselves, we are not just filling our own cup, but also ensuring that it overflows, benefiting all of those that we interact with. In this sense, self-care is not a selfish act, but rather a foundational investment into the collective well-being. If you have time to stay in your Shavasana for 5 to 10 minutes, please do. Otherwise, you can join me in ending practice here. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.